Hello, English 1 students, and welcome to week 14 of our class and of this semester. Today we are going to continue in Unit 6, which is called Trends. This week we are going to do this lesson about bad fashion and giving advice. We will do some review. And then in session 3, we are going to talk all about your final project. So all of the information you'll need is in session 3. So for now, let's go ahead and work on looking at examples of bad fashion and talking about how to give advice. This is what we are going to learn about and talk about for your final. So in this session, let's go ahead and see just how to do it. Okay, let's begin. Let's begin with this question. What is fashion? Fashion is a popular way of wearing clothes during a specific time or among specific people. This definition is a little maybe difficult, so let's go ahead and break it down. When we are talking about fashion, we're talking about clothes, right? And when we're talking about today's fashion, we're talking about clothes that are popular during this time, or with just certain people. For example, we can talk about today's Korean fashion. We can talk about 1950s American fashion. So fashion is the kind of clothes that people wear in a certain time that are popular. So what about today's fashion? What do you think is fashionable? And what is not fashionable? We care about people's fashion, right? When we are in different situations, we are looking at the clothes that people wear and thinking, good fashion or bad fashion? For example, if you go to the doctor and your doctor is wearing pajamas, you might say, I don't know if that is correct. We care about the clothing people wear, whether it's going to the doctor, going to a job interview, hanging out with our friends, or even going to school. Fashion is an important part of our lives, right? So let's go ahead and look at some situations. We are going to talk about what fashion is appropriate for each situation. Appropriate means what is okay in each situation. And as we are looking at these examples, let's think about, what should someone wear in those situations? What should someone wear at school or a doctor's office or as a teacher? What kind of clothing should people wear? Let's go and look at some different situations. Okay, let's begin with situation number 1, which is going to school. What kind of fashion is appropriate for going to school? What should you wear when you are going to school? Take a moment and think about it. You are in college now, but what about if you are in middle school or high school? What do students usually wear to school? Maybe this looks familiar. a school uniform is very common for going to school, right? So let's take a look at what they're wearing and review the names of different items of clothing. So first, let's look at this girl. She is wearing a white button-up shirt and a blue and green plaid skirt. Now let's look at the boy. He is also wearing a white button-up shirt, a tie, and it looks like blue pants. So there are many different kinds of school uniforms, but often we see the button-up shirt and a skirt or pants, and for men a tie, right? Or for boys rather, a tie. So this is one example of the appropriate kind of clothing or fashion for going to school. Now let's look at situation number 2, which is going to a wedding. Of course, a wedding is da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, right? So what should we wear if we go to a wedding? What fashion is appropriate for going to a wedding? If you are going to a wedding and you are not the bride or groom, you are not a bridesmaid or a groomsman, if you are not in the wedding, you can wear wedding casual. Do you remember that word from last week's vocabulary video? Casual. So wedding casual, let's go ahead and look at this picture, is similar to business casual, which means no jeans, okay, no jeans. You can wear khaki pants or nice, we would call them dress pants, and a collared shirt, right? A shirt that has a collar like this, da-da-da, or like we see him wearing here. We also call it a button-up shirt because of the buttons, right? This is called a blazer, B-L-A-Z-E-R, or we could just say a jacket as well, but we often would say blazer. So for men, wedding casual might be dress pants, a button-up collared shirt, and a blazer. What about for women? For women, we might wear a nice dress and some heels, right? Here we see a sundress is also okay. Sundress is not so formal, but still looks nice. What would you wear to a wedding? You could also wear something called semi-formal. Semi means a little. Semi-formal means a little formal. So you could wear something more elegant, if you remember from last week, a more elegant dress, but something more casual is okay too. It depends on the wedding, right? All right, let's go to situation number 3, which is going on a date. Remember, a date is like when you maybe go see a movie and go out to dinner with someone you want to date, like your maybe boyfriend or girlfriend. What do you think is appropriate to wear on a date? Should you wear business casual clothes? Should you wear a school uniform? Maybe we could just wear semi-formal clothes. So we saw in the last slide about weddings that you can also wear semi-formal. Remember, semi means a little, so it's a little formal. because we want to make a good impression, right? We want the other person to think, oh, they are so beautiful, or oh, so handsome. So we want to dress semi-formal. So again, I think it is so easy for boys and men. Again, we see the button-up shirt, right? Button-up, collared shirt. These are called khaki pants, K-H-A-K-I, khaki pants. And that's pretty much it. Some nice shoes. For the woman, her semi-formal clothes are a nice blouse, which maybe you remember, blouse. She's wearing a nice skirt. And she is also wearing some heels, or we could call them high heels. So if we are going on a date, we want to wear some nice semi-formal clothes. Okay, we have 3 more situations, so let's look at situation number 4. In situation number 4, we are just meeting friends. So maybe I want to go to see my friends at a cafe, or I want to go to dinner with my friends, or maybe go to a park or something, go shopping. What kind of fashion is appropriate or okay for meeting friends? Should I wear formal clothing? Should I wear an elegant dress? I think most of us would wear casual clothes. Remember that word and that vocabulary from last week? Casual. Casual. Casual means it is like everyday clothes, every day. So it is something I would wear to see my friends, to go grocery shopping, like this. So we see for both of these people, they are wearing jeans, right? We see jeans are very common in casual clothes. We see a t-shirt on the man and a long-sleeved shirt on the woman. He is also wearing a sweater, and these are all examples of casual clothes. This is what we might wear when we want to go meet a friend. Our next situation, situation number 5, is going to a job interview. You probably remember from Language Task 1 that a job interview is when you have given your resume or application and you get a call from the company and they say, come here and we will interview you, ask you some questions, and decide if you get the job or not. So what kind of fashion is appropriate for going to a job interview? Should you wear casual clothes? Should you wear wedding casual clothes? I think if you go to a job interview, you had better wear business casual clothes. We say business casual because it is not a full suit, right? Maybe just a little bit more relaxed than if you were a CEO or something. So again, it is so easy for men. You just wear a surprise button-up collared shirt, a tie, some nice black pants, which we actually see on the man and the woman. And these would be called dress shoes. Dress shoes. Usually they are black leather, right? These are nice shoes to wear. On the woman, we see, remember the word from a previous slide, a blazer. She also has black pants and some heels. And she's also wearing a button-up collared shirt, right? Let's write that out. A button. We can call it a button-up or button-down. A button-up shirt. So these are examples of the correct clothing to wear to a job interview. Do you agree? Our last situation, situation number 6, is one of my favorite situations, which is going to sleep. Now, of course, we should not wear a button-up shirt and a blazer and a tie when we're going to sleep. What kind of fashion is appropriate for going to sleep? Of course, pajamas. Or we could also say pajamas. That is the more common pronunciation, pajamas. So these are clothes we wear when we are just resting at home and getting ready to go to sleep. Now that we have looked at 6 different examples of what kind of fashion you should use in different situations, let's look at some problems with fashion. So here again, we see this man. This man is going to a job interview. Is his fashion okay? What is he doing right or wrong? Should he wear jeans to his interview? Should he wear a t-shirt to his interview? And a sweater? No. There is a problem with his fashion. He should wear business casual clothes to an interview, right? He should wear a button-up shirt, a tie, some black pants or dress pants, and dress shoes. This is wrong for a job interview. If you go to an interview wearing casual clothes, maybe they will say, no, goodbye. It is not a good idea. Wearing business casual clothes is the correct choice for an interview. Let's look at another problem. All right. This woman is going to meet her friends. So remember, what kind of clothes should we wear if we are going to meet our friends? Should we wear a blazer and black pants, heels, and a button-up shirt? If we are going to a cafe or to a movie theater, is this what we should wear? Is her fashion okay? No. Again, there is a problem. She should wear casual clothes, which means she should wear something like jeans and a blouse or a t-shirt. This is the correct thing to wear if you are just going to visit your friends. Okay, let's look at one more problem. Okay, here we see someone wearing pajamas, right? This man is going to school. Is his fashion okay? Should he wear pajamas to go to school? What do you think your teacher would do if you came to class wearing pajamas? Would other students think, pajamas are good fashion for school? No, there is a problem, of course. He should wear a uniform to school. Or, of course, if you are a college student, right, 대학교 학생, then you can wear casual clothes to class. But we should not wear pajamas to class, right? Bad fashion. Wearing a uniform or, again, possibly wearing casual clothes would be the correct fashion. So let's go ahead and practice giving some advice. In previous lessons last week, we learned how to give advice using could, should, ought to, and had better. For example, you could wear a dress to the party. You could wear the blue dress or the black one. You should, or you ought to, wear a formal suit to the job interview. Or if we want to use the negative form, you shouldn't wear jeans, they're too casual. You'd better wear a coat, it's going to rain. Or the negative form, we'd better not drive to the concert, it will be hard to park. So we use could when we're just making a suggestion, giving some advice, or want to offer two or more suggestions. Should or ought to is a little stronger, and had better is very strong advice. You had better bring an umbrella because it's going to rain. So do you remember this? Let's go ahead and use this to give some fashion advice to these people. We're going to use you could, you should, you ought to, and you'd better. We're going to practice using each one to give some fashion advice to different people in different situations. All right. This man is going to a job interview. Let's give him some advice. What kind of advice do you think we should give him? Soft advice like you could, or strong advice like you should, you ought to, or you had better? Well, we know that he should be wearing business casual clothes, and in this picture, he is only wearing casual clothes. So if we want to give him some soft advice, we could say he could wear a suit to the job interview. This is not strong advice, which means it's just a small suggestion. So he could wear a suit to the job interview. That's soft advice. If we want to give stronger advice, we could say he should wear a suit to the job interview, or he ought to wear a suit to the job interview. This is stronger advice, which means it is important that someone listens to what we have to say about this advice. So these are stronger than when we use could. The strongest advice we can give is he'd better wear a suit to the job interview. This is very strong advice, and it is also a great way to show that it is very important that someone listen to what we have to say. Any of these are okay when giving advice. If I were giving someone advice about a job interview, I would say probably he'd better wear a suit to the job interview. It is important, especially if it's a job you really want. Let's look at our next example. This woman is going to meet her friends, right? So let's give her some advice. Again, should we give her soft advice or strong advice? In this picture, she's wearing business casual clothes, but we know if she wants to meet her friends, she should just wear casual clothes. Let's give her some advice. She could wear casual clothes to meet her friends. This means the advice is not very strong and it's just a suggestion. She should wear casual clothes to meet her friends, or she ought to wear casual clothes to meet her friends. This is a little bit stronger. We're saying maybe she shouldn't wear business casual. She should wear casual clothes. The strongest advice is she'd better wear casual clothes to meet her friends. This is the strongest advice. If I were giving her advice, I would probably give her some small advice. She could wear casual clothes. She might be more comfortable, but she is just seeing her friends, so it is not very important, and I don't need to give her very, very strong advice. Let's look at our last example. Remember, this man is going to school. He's wearing pajamas. Let's give him some advice. In his case, should we give him small, weak advice, strong advice, or very strong advice? We know he should be wearing something like a school uniform. So let's practice using could, should, ought to, and had better to give him some advice. He could wear a uniform to school. This means our advice is not very strong, right? We're saying he could. He doesn't have to, but he could. We can also use he should or he ought to. He should wear a uniform to school, or he ought to wear a uniform to school. This is a little bit stronger, and of course the strongest advice is he'd better wear a uniform to school. This is very strong advice. In this case, I think we could give any of these examples for advice because it is important, right? You should not go to school in pajamas. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and talk about your assignment for this session. Your assignment is to complete the Giving Advice worksheet number 2. Please download it from eClass in the assignment section. Complete the assignment and submit it to eClass. All right, everyone, that's it for session 1, and I'll see you guys in session 2, okay? Bye-bye.